Thanks for watching. Go ahead and click the subscribe button and the bell icon so you get notified of each new video as it comes out. Hi everybody, I'm Jase Johnson. You're watching Reality Survival. And so today what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and make my 2010 3/4 ton 2500 HD GMC EMP proof, because I don't want to drive around a pre-1980 vehicle all the time. So you guys have probably seen me talk about these on the channel before. We had the founder and one of the marketing directors for EMP Shield on the channel. I will link to that interview below. It was about an hour or more that just talked about all the details about how these things work and why they work. And so before you ask questions in the comments below, I would suggest that you watch that video and you'll be able to learn about it and how they developed it and all that kind of stuff. I'm not an electronic, an electrical engineer or anything like that. I've had some classes on electronics, and I've done a lot of electronic work on vehicles and stuff, a little bit on houses and stuff, so I understand the basics of electricity and whatnot. It's all a little different, than EMPs and the induced energy that's created by them and stuff like that. So I'm not going to claim to be an expert on it, but here's why I think that the EMP Shield devices are a good investment, and why I don't question their ability to work at this point is because of the third-party testing that they do. So to me, the third-party testing is when they pay another laboratory who is experienced in dealing with these kinds of devices to test them, see what their limits are and all that kind of stuff, and then they'll publish the results of those tests. And you can see those over on myempshield.com. And they list, they show you the third-party results and all that kind of stuff. I don't think that places like the Keystone Laboratory, which is a very well-known, testing facility, would ruin their reputation by saying something will work when it won't. So that's why I think that these are an okay deal, or a pretty good deal, really. As far as this one goes, this is the 12-volt version, and it's made for putting on your car. And the idea behind it is that it will protect your car's sensitive electronics. When the system, it's hooked to your battery and then to ground, and when the system detects an overload of induced voltage into the system, it automatically shunts that voltage to the chassis. Okay, and it does it in like 2/billionths of a second, so that because the presence of the induced voltage in the system for a long time is what causes it to fry. And when you say long time, you're talking about literally in like billionths of seconds, right? So and I don't know exactly what the cutoff and everything is, but if I remember correctly, this one's like 2/billionths of a second that it'll dump the voltage out of the positive side of the system, which will protect your car's electronics. That's the basics of my understanding of it. Okay, so what we're going to do today here is we're just going to I'm just going to show you how to hook this thing up. It's super simple. Basically, you've got 3 lines that come out of it. You've got a red that goes to the positive terminal of the battery. Then you have a black that goes to the negative terminal of the battery. And then you have a green which goes to ground. And that's it. That's all you got. So pretty easy. Hopefully, I don't know if these are I'm gonna have to get bigger ring connectors or drill these out a little bit, but other than that, it should be pretty much just an easy install, just installing these 3 wires. So let me get those ring connectors squared away and we'll get going here. Okay, so I also did want to mention that I do have a discount code for you guys. I've got a link that if you use that link in the description below, it'll give you a discount off of this. It'll definitely save some cash. So, all right, I'm just going to go ahead and clip these ends off, and we'll re-strip it. this blue one here is going to work. So if you guys haven't signed up over at realitysurvival.com yet, I recommend that you do that. I'm in the process of transitioning over to where the majority of my content will be at realitysurvival.com. So I know a few of the guys had an issue with signing up on the email list. I have fixed that, and now you'll have pop-ups, and there's also a bar across the top of the website where you can enter your email address and get on the list. I'm going to be, just want to make sure this is going to fit. Yep. I'm going to be coming out. I've got a few of my PDF checklists kind of started up in a draft form, and I'm going to be making those available as soon as I can. And the idea there is, let's say you live in an area that is prone to have forest fires, then you could go to the website, find the forest fire post, and the download for the forest fire checklist, and that checklist will basically give you a rundown of all the things that you should do before a disaster to make your home a little bit more resistant to forest fires. And then it'll also give you, like, if there's one in your area or something and it's coming your way, kind of a list of things that you should do for that. And then, you know, as it may be relevant depending on the disaster and how bad the damage is, things that you can do after the fact too. So, and we're going to do that with, the plan is to do that with all sorts of disasters. You know, hurricanes, flooding, etc., etc. So let me check. I'm going to check here and see if these blue ones will work on the chassis. I have a chassis ground. Yep, that's going to work there too. So, you know, if that's something you're interested in, then you can. I'm trying to figure out a better way to you know, a better business model so that I don't have to rely on YouTube, because I hate what they're doing to conservative content creators, and I don't want to have to rely on them. So instead of going to Patreon, because they're just as bad, they kicked off Jordan Peterson and some other folks, you know, for saying things that are just common sense. And so, you know, I don't particularly want to support them either. So definitely check it out over there. All right, so let's see here. I guess we need to mount the box. That's probably going to be the first thing. Their instructions are really good. They give you kind of color pictures, you know, to show you how to hook it up, where to hook it up, and all that kind of stuff. Of course, it's just generic. It's not, you can't apply it to, can't be specific for every vehicle or whatever. All right, we're going to try these self-tapping screws. I just installed this this Spectre air cleaner system here, and I think this will be a good place to mount it. We'll see how it'll work. So I think I can put this like right here. I don't want to get it in the way of, you know, the air filter and all. Boom. Okay. that's going to work out pretty well. Now, sorry if the camera angle wasn't right on that, but you can basically mount these anywhere. You can mount it to a fender well, you can mount it to a, like I've got another battery tray over there. I just wanted to do it someplace close so that I didn't have to have all this excessive wire. And I screwed up. I probably shouldn't have put the ends on there yet, because I can trim these off, and that way there's not a lot of excess. So that's what I'm going to do. I do have an inline fuse here, so I've got to keep, I'm going to have to, I'm going to think about that. I'm going to go ahead and keep that one full length, because I don't really want to have to put another joint in that one. So the one that I can cut for the negative terminal will be this one, and we can just pop that off there. Now, I've never installed one of these before, so just kind of the way it goes. We're finally getting some decent weather here in Cheyenne. It's been ridiculous. Spring didn't even really hit until like June 1st. Okay. Now, if you wanted to be, you know, super professional, you'd probably want to solder these connections. I don't think that's going to be necessary since they didn't do it from the factory. Let me grab my nut driver. Hopefully I'll be able to get it on here okay. I think it'll probably work. Wire will lay down. I want to make sure I've got this routed so that it doesn't interfere with the hood springs or the hood closure or anything like that too. Okay, there's that one. Probably have to get some zip ties for this one to keep all of the excess tied up. I'll also be doing a video on the home installation once I get that done. Got an electrician buddy who's going to come over and do it. I'm waiting though because I'm putting a new panel in my house, so I want to have it put in after I get the panel. So his schedule is a little ways out, probably sometime in August. That's what we're going to be looking at. Okay, so that's wire number 2. We're 2/3 of the way done. Yeah. Okay, got that good and tight. I'm going to cut a little hole in this cover, or just a little slice. So that it can go around that. There we go. And now we got to put on the chassis one, and then that'll be done. Now I'm gonna have to route this one over there, and I'm crossing my fingers that it'll be long enough. I'm just gonna kind of twist it along. I could probably put it inside that wire, but I don't think that's going to be necessary. There we go. Go ahead and trim that one right there. Alright, so this is just a chassis. This is a ground cable that's coming from the block of the motor up to the firewall. And so I think that'll be a good solid ground for it. So that's where I'm going to plug it. You could put it pretty much anywhere though. This is just the place that looked like the best spot for my mounting installation and what I was trying to do here. There we go. Okay, so my understanding is once we start it up, we should be able to see a green light come on there on the EMP box. So let's check that out, see if it happens. Let's see if it even starts. Yep, green light's on. So I don't know if you can see it because of the light or not, but it's on. So that's good. Okay guys, so that's the install. That's it. And you know, the price on these, I checked the website, the price on these is $369, and like I said, I've got the discount code, the link below. I think that'll save you $50 off that, so you can get it for, you know, like $320. And it's kind of just a peace of mind thing. Like, you know, let's say the off chance that EMP happens, right? I think it's a fairly low percentage possibility, a low probability that we're going to ever have to deal with an EMP. But if we do, and you're a prepper and you can still drive your vehicle after the fact, that's awesome. As a prepper, you should have some gasoline stored up and stuff like that on hand, and you know, some extra oil and fluids and, you know, those kind of things. And so you'd still have use of your vehicle. Now, it's not going to last forever, right? Because unless you have a lot of gas stored up, you know. But even if even if you had, say, 100 gallons stored up, and you could get yourself, you know, 2-3 extra tanks of gas, maybe to relocate, maybe just for, you know, for doing whatever, that would be pretty cool. And I think it's the kind of thing that you'd kick yourself after the fact, going, gosh, I could have got that and installed it so easily, and I didn't, you know. Now the other alternative is that you can get, let me show you what we got going on here. You can get yourself an old GMC or an old Chevy, and rebuild a motor and all that kind of stuff. We're building a bug out vehicle, and that's what this project is here. It's a 1980 GMC, and we're putting an old 327 into it, and you know, so that's going to be a little bit more resistant to EMP effects and stuff like that. We'll have to have an extra HEI module and probably a voltage regulator from the alternator and a few things, but you know, for the most part, it's fairly EMP resistant. But that costs a lot of money and a lot of time, and it's a big investment, you know, in doing something like that. We've already got several $1,000s invested into the one we're doing, and as you can see, we haven't gotten very far. So I think this is a pretty cool thing, you know. I think this is a pretty reasonably priced product. It's very easy to install, and like I said, the thing that sells me on the fact that it works more than anything is the third-party testing. So go over to their website, take a look at it, you know, use the link in the description below to get over there. That'll give you your discount at checkout if you decide to buy anything. If you don't want to buy anything, that's cool too. But I try to work those deals with these guys to try to save you guys some money. It also helps us earn a little bit on the commission, you know, so it's a win-win for everybody. So anyway, guys, that's been the install on the EMP shield for the vehicle. Pretty easy. And if I hadn't messed up on a couple of those rings and things, it would have gone a little bit faster, but oh well, you know. So anyway, guys, as always, I definitely appreciate it when you click the thumbs up button, when you share it with your friends on Facebook and Twitter, and don't forget to live 6 P's. Proper prior preparation prevents poor performance. Stay safe, guys.